Welcome back to my vlog. I'm here again to discuss something that's really important to me and has been for most of my life, but especially the last 20 or so years. On and off, I've been a gym rat and a working out person. I like taking care of my body. I am not by nature a physically active person. I like going for long walks and I like doing that kind of thing, but I'm not a go out on an adventure kind of person. I'm a sedentary kind of gal. I like to read and write and go out with my friends and do those kind of things. I love exploring new places, which I'll get into a little bit later. But to me, if I'm walking, I either want to be walking with a friend, going someplace beautiful, or having a nice walk in the city and seeing new things, seeing new cities, finding new restaurants to eat at. Places like that. I'm not really a jump out of a plane, bungee jumping, hiking, canoeing, you name it, zip lining. That's just not my cup of tea. My friend who I'm doing the life makeover with is very adventuresome, as is her entire family. We are complete opposites where that's concerned. But all that being said, we still love each other because we both like having adventures with people. We're people. And so that's what really draws us together. We have a lot in common personality-wise, and we have a lot in common just in our philosophy of living. So it makes life just more enjoyable to have friends who like doing all of these things and then sharing our adventures with each other, whichever adventures they may be. So that being said, this week's Life Makeover, the chapter was Spring into Fitness. And at first I was like, oh, well, I've got that covered. I'm going to the gym almost every day. I'm working out with a trainer. I have lost 20 pounds. I'm feeling good. I'm taking good care of myself. But not true. I started examining what was really being asked of me in this chapter, and it was talking about the obstacles to getting fit. Like, you can get all gung-ho, but then things can just stop you from going. It can be your health. It can be your mental attitude. Life might be getting to you. It might be that you're looking after people and you don't have time to look after yourself. It might be that you're not getting enough rest. It might be that the world's, kind of on fire and you don't know what to do about that. So that sets you down too. So you may not actually be working out to efficiency or eating properly or using food as a crutch sometimes, even when you're on a good plan, even when you're taking weight loss medication like I've been doing with the Zepbound. There are days where I'm like, today was really a two biscotti kind of a day because it really kind of stunk in the news today. So we all have our little go-tos, if you will, for not coping properly with problems that arise. And then we have ways that we can get around them. So what she talked about in the book was identify the obstacles that you have to being fit, to being your fit self. And I think that should include emotional and spiritual fitness, whatever that spirituality is to you and what it means to you. That's your business. But I know I have to do something every day that makes me feel grounded and strong emotionally and spiritually. Otherwise, I can't face the day. Sometimes literally I lay in bed and I just tell myself first thing in the morning, I don't want to get out of bed sometimes. And I'm like, you're just going to have a good day today. That's what I tell myself. Today is going to be a good day. And I can tell myself that. And as soon as I get out of bed, it's going to start. The good day is going to start. I have to tell myself that. I have a predisposition to be a little bit anxious. Well, a lot anxious. I have a predisposition to being a little bit depressed at times because I feel things deeply. I'm very empathetic. And when I see bad things happening to good people and bad things happening all over the world, it kind of impacts me really deep in my soul and my heart. And I sometimes feel like I can't face it because I can't fix it. And that hurts me just at a very primal level. I think that's what makes me the writer that I am. I'm very deeply invested in my characters for the same reason. I want good things to happen in their lives. And I think maybe I know the writing is a way for me to cope with some of the things that are not right in the world, that are not right in my life even. I mean, everybody has problems, including me. And writing these love stories, these romances gives me an outlet for over that anxiety and worry and anger at times. And it also gives me a guaranteed happily ever after that I can share with other people that, you can have hope in even the darkest of days. There's always going to be bad stuff happening. And I know that if I look over the course of history, I can see how it has happened over time and time again, but good things can happen too. And there are good people everywhere. So I try really very hard to focus on that, but I still have to get myself out of bed. So I thought a lot about what I needed to identify. And she suggested finding 5 obstacles to your fitness. And again, I'm covering everything, mental, spiritual, physical, but mostly physical, because it's all intertwined. It's a holistic thing. And then she wants you to come up with some solutions and then choose the best one. Of course, me being me and geeky, and I want to get an A++ and a gold star, I have to do all the solutions because that's just the way I roll. So I sat down and I thought a little bit about it. And I thought, of course, yes, the world is crazy. I'd be a nut if I didn't acknowledge that. Come on, y'all. Like there's a war going on, I think, in every corner of the world right now. The prices of things are going up. This is not really a fun thing to have to look at happening. And I am deeply, deeply concerned about it. So it impacts my ability to get out of the bed. And my only way of dealing with that is to keep telling myself that my day is going to be a good day. And the way I want to deal with that is, take my anger and my frustration and my concern and my worry and go to the gym and turn it all into positive energy, working out, pumping the weights, doing the cardio, doing whatever I can to put a good endorphin into my system so that I can feel like I have control over this. And if I take care of myself, I can take care of other things in my corner of the world. And more about that a little bit later. So the other thing that has really bothered me on and off pretty much since I started the Transformation Challenge last August, I thought I was 62 going on 42 and I was going gung-ho, and I went from 60 miles an hour to 0 miles an hour pretty fast because I pushed myself too hard and I really, really aggravated something that I probably knew was going on, but I wasn't paying attention to it. So I had discovered that I have arthritis in my neck. Me to the doctor. Is that because I'm a writer? Him to me. No, it's because you're getting older. I'm like, oh, thanks. I really appreciate that. But whatever. It's normal to get these kind of set things in your body. Your joints can only handle so much pressure over time. And mine have been used for 63 years now. So my neck, it always has given me trouble. And because I overexerted and pushed too hard, that also led to a pretty bad shoulder situation where it was like impinged. They called it a shoulder impingement. The pain was excruciating. I could not even put my arm behind my back. I couldn't bend. I couldn't lift things. It was awful. I had to go to emergency, and yeah, it was not fun. But once we found out what was the real problem, we could start working on that. Meanwhile, I was doing the Transformation Challenge, and I could hardly do anything with this whole side of my body. I had to modify all the exercises. So that was frustrating, but my trainer was really great and he worked with me and we got through the harder parts of it. And now I know what to do if it starts bugging me again. I know when to back off a little bit, but I also know that I can push myself harder now than I could before. And this is how we're going to build muscle and eliminate fat. That's the goal. We're not trying to lose weight anymore. We're just trying to shift how it is being carried. And so far, I feel pretty good about that. But still, I have to be cognizant of the neck and shoulder injury, which leads me to the fact that I can't do Zumba. And I love Zumba. I love doing the classes, but it's too easy for me once the music starts to forget that if I bounce around too much, I'm going to mess up my neck, create pain, and then I won't be able to work out at all. So it's a no-win situation. I miss my friends in Zumba, but I see them outside of Zumba sometimes, and I'm working on figuring out how to make some social time happen in another way at the gym. I'm trying to find some fitness buddies, but that's definitely an obstacle to my fitness because I miss the fun of the class. I just miss being in the class. And truthfully, I wasn't burning as many calories as I needed to. It wasn't even as much about burning calories. It was about just being with people and having fun and laughing and social time is very important. I need it. I need people. I cannot sit in a room by myself and write these books if I don't go out into the world and see people. And honestly, the worst writing time I had was during the pandemic because I couldn't get out. and I'm social. I like people, most people. I don't like all people, but I like being around people. I like knowing them and finding out what makes them tick. And I like making up little stories about strangers in my head so I can put them in my books. But that's how I get my ideas. That's how I feed my writer brain. I miss it. And so that's an obstacle because what do I do instead? And the other one that I had was I love, again, walking. I used to have an awesome walking buddy back in Fairfax, Virginia. If she's watching this, she knows who I'm talking about. And we would go for like 5-6 mile walks, and we walked fast. Like, we're both long striders, fast walkers, and we could just talk about everything. So that would help with issue number 1. The world is crazy. Back in the day, it was, we're going to talk about, we're having trouble with the kids. School is giving us issues. This one's having that problem. And we could just kind of suss out our problems together and work through them together. And as younger moms in our 40s, late 30s, 40s, it was good to have a companion to walk with. And I lost her as soon as we moved to Alabama, and I'm yet to find another walking buddy that is A, equally as strong of a walker, and B, someone that I can really just be myself with. Like, I don't want to have to censor myself when I'm walking. I want to talk about what's really bugging me today, whether it's the world, what's going on in the news. I need a place to vent that. And the poor physicist cannot hear it all the time. He's like, okay, we've had enough now. We need to start talking about something else. This is going into compartment B, and I need you to keep it in compartment B. And I'm like, what compartment? I don't have compartments. I have a continuous loop. I have a continuous feedback loop, and boy, does he know it. And I have a pretty good memory, so I can like, oh, I feel sorry for him sometimes, but he takes it all in stride, and he's a good man, and he knows I need to vent at least once a day about what's happening in the world. But I miss having someone else to do that with, that I'm close to, that I trust, and I miss my walking friend in Virginia a lot. Now, I know when I go to the Netherlands, I'll have my dear friend that I'm doing Life Makeover with, and we can walk and talk about just about everything too. Doing this long distance is not the same as being in person. I'm very grateful for the technology that we have, but we're 6 hours apart right now. So she's, let's see, it's 1:30 here. So it's, let me do math, 6:30, 7:30 there. So she's cooking dinner, feeding kids, having grandchildren over, looking after her husband, getting ready for her evening, for watching a show or something. So it's really hard to kind of crowbar in real conversational time when we have all these things going on at different time zones. That's another problem, but it's not a big one. It's just one that I'm continuously looking for somebody to go for a walk with and to talk with, that I can feel comfortable with, and someone who also, quite frankly, can keep up with me, because if I go walking with the physicist, it's a stroll for me, and it's a workout for him, and I need a real walk. So we have learned that we do not walk together unless we're walking and exploring a city together or going somewhere together, because I have a very fast stride. I think mine is twice as long as his, because our fitness apps measured our strides, and it's like for every 2 steps he takes, I take 1. It's like when you have a toddler, although he's not a toddler, it's like when you have a little child and you have to like really slow down, because not only do they walk with shorter steps, they also have to stop and examine everything along the way. And oh boy, did my daughter ever like to examine things along the way. She's a lot like her dad. And the other problem I have is I am a lifelong sufferer of insomnia. It's probably related to the anxiety, depression, not real depression, but anxiety, sad feelings, empathy feelings I have. When something's happening in the world, I have a really hard time turning it off. And when I wake up in the middle of the night, I have a really hard time going back to sleep. So that's been a struggle my whole life. And if I don't get a good night's sleep, I just don't have the energy I would like to have to go do some of the more heavier, more intense workouts that I want to do. So those were my top 5 kind of obstacles. And so my solutions were basically, again, take my frustrations and worry and anxiety out on the weight machines, push heavier weights, go in and do the machines, go in and do a good cardio. How do I handle being by myself? I have yet to find somebody to do like an hour-long elliptical with me. Like, I would love to find somebody to do that with, but I have yet to find someone. Everybody's busy and everybody has different schedules, especially as we get older. Our time is splintered in so many different ways. But if I could find someone, then that would be great. Then we could just walk and talk. You can do elliptical and chat, and the hour or 45 minutes will just fly right by. But I finally figured out how to log into my Netflix. Yeah, I'm so technically challenged. And I am going to start streaming shows. I found one that's a really fun one that was recommended by our weekly happy hour buddy. He suggested to watch One Piece. So I started watching it, and I'm going to continue watching it when I'm working out on the machine by myself doing cardio. So that's one way to do it. The other thing is I started to take different kinds of classes again. I realized that I hadn't really given myself a chance to try some of the hot classes. It's in a room in our Crunch Fitness Center. It's a hot room. So it's hot in the room. It's like being in a big sauna, and you can do yoga, Pilates, core work. And the thing that's nice about it, A, that's easier on my muscles, so less stress on my muscles. B, I don't feel the pressure of people are all around me looking at what I'm doing, or, like they might follow me and I'm not doing the moves the way they would want to do the moves, like in a Zumba class. And I'm not doing repetitive moves with weights. I will not do that, like, funny, fickle moves like that anymore. Made that mistake, can't do it anymore. So it's my space, but I'm with other people, and the instructors are really good. So I took a hot yoga class a week ago, and I took a hot core class just the other day, and wow, that 30 minutes kicked my little tushkin, because even though I'm working out on the gym floor and I'm doing core work on the gym floor, it's a different workout. It's a different way of using your muscles, and my muscles needed that challenge. But I also, because I know the instructor quite well, she also teaches yoga. I talked to her after, and she said she was happy to see me in the class. I said I was happy to be in the class. And so she asked how I felt, and I said, well, I modified what I had to do. There were some moves that I knew would aggravate the shoulder, so I just did it my way, and I still got a great workout, and I didn't feel like I was hurting anybody else's workout in the process. And I probably shouldn't feel like that. Like, I should just do my little workout no matter where I'm working out and not worry if anybody thinks I'm leading them astray. But I'm hyper aware of people, so it's hard for me not to do that. I haven't yet figured out how to switch off that I don't want to, upset somebody else's happy cart kind of thing. Like, I don't go out of my way to make people miserable, and I try to go out of my way actually to make people happy and comfortable. So it's just my personality. It's my wheelhouse. It's how I've gotten through life. And I'm 63, and I don't really know if I'll ever figure out how to change that part of myself. So this was a good happy medium, and I'm really glad I did it. So now I'm actively looking for hot classes. The other thing too is I like going a little later in the morning. My most creative time is in the morning. I get most of my creativity done, my writing, whatever personal wellness time I want to do, editing work I can do at any time, businessy kind of stuff I can do at any time. But the creative part of my brain is mostly on fire in the morning. I get up early, I get started early, and then I can get way more done in an hour to 2 hours in the morning than I can in the afternoon in 4 hours, because everything's working. My brain is just on. So that's just the decision I had to make, that also I need to go in a little later because I need to get the work done that I want to do. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it because I love writing, and I love publishing, and I love my stories, and I love the characters, and I love getting my frustrations and sorrows and all of those feelings out on the page through my characters, because every character has a little bit of me or somebody else in there. It's always fun to write romantic suspenses if you're having a problem with a person. That's just my little secret. So started doing the hot classes. Then I found the shows on the app. I'm doing One Piece. I do listen to podcasts. Sometimes they're a little too educational for me. Like, I don't want to be educated. I want to laugh. But sometimes I do want to be educated because I do love learning. So it just depends on my mood. I'm learning that you don't have to always have your brain on a schedule, but it's very not in my wheelhouse not to be doing something cerebral, even when I'm doing mundane kind of things. Like, I can't clean house without something playing in my ears that is at least giving me some kind of information. The other thing I do too is I've stopped listening to the news. I don't watch it unless there's a storm coming. I only do news after I've done everything else I need to do during the day, during the morning, to get ready for my day, my writing, my wellness time, my workout. All that is like zero news. I need to be informed, but I don't need to be informed until I have taken care of myself first. And I think that's really been helping a lot. The other thing that I have to do, and I've been implementing more religiously, it kind of goes in ebbs and flows, depends on what our schedule is like for travel, etc. But I'm going to bed a little bit earlier. I have this sleep thing on my watch, and I'm supposed to be in bed by 11 p.m. Sometimes I'm in bed way before that because I'm tired. And then I also have taken to not having any media, no shows, nothing after a certain time. I will read because that's a different way of ingesting information, but I'm reading like a happy book. Like, this is a fun book. I picked this up when I did the little free library. And then I'm about, a third of a way through it, quarter of a way through it. It's taken me a long time because I don't read this one at night. I read it out during the day. And then I also have a Kindle. So I read on my Kindle, I read the other books that I have. So I'm reading a lot more, which is a great way to bring information in without worrying about getting suddenly something flashing across my phone about this happened today or that happened today or whatever happened today. I don't want to know what happened today sometimes. So it's a control thing. So going to bed on time has helped. I'm still struggling a little bit with the sleep, but yeah, I've lived with it pretty much my whole life, so I can deal with it. And the other thing that I realized too is I need to take breaks. Like on Tuesday, a week ago, I got up and I'm tired. I'm just, there's like no air in my tires literally to do anything. And I dragged myself to the gym and I did a half-hearted workout. And I was just barely making it through. And I was like, what in the heck is wrong with me? And then I realized I have been going to the gym every day for over, I think it was 8 or 9 days in a row. I didn't take a break. My body was saying, hello, we need a holiday. You don't have to hit 10,000 steps. And by the way, the 10,000 step thing, I never try that anymore. I just do my workouts and see what happens. And I just want to make sure that I'm burning calories. If I'm doing weight workouts, then I'm burning calories long after I've left the gym. But I was like, man, I haven't done anything to take care of just relaxing. So I took the next day off. I had already planned lunch with a really good friend, and I just took the morning, did my nails. I didn't do anything. I didn't write. I think I edited my friend's book, but I didn't do anything. I just took care of myself, and I called it the day of Christine, and I had a marvelous day. And that rejuvenated me for Thursday when I went in to work out with my trainer. So lesson learned, don't work out every day either. Even if you're switching things out, you just have to give yourself a break. Like, we all need that. Our bodies need time to recover. And I think the same adage is kind of true about life in general. Like, it's okay to take a day and do nothing. It's whatever nothing is to you. Like, for me, doing nothing is, well, taking 3 hours to, get my day started and taking it easy on a Saturday. I remember when weekends were like, you slept in. You watched a few cartoons on TV, maybe, if you were a kid. None of that's really going on right now. It's like we're going and going and going. So I give myself a little permission to use my leisure time very ineffectively and not schedule it. I listen to a podcast, this Arthur Brooks, who I love. I absolutely love him, but I don't love his advice that you should schedule your leisure time and it should always be meaningful. It's like, yeah, I get it. Like, we should create art and we should listen to good things and we should be intentional in our leisure, but sometimes it's really okay to play a dumb game on your phone. It really is, if it's going to take your mind off of stupid stuff or to do like nothing. It's okay. It's okay to just hang and relax. That's perfectly fine. And so, there are no rules about how you want to spend your leisure time in my world. Like, I barely take leisure as it is. Work is play is work. Like, writing is working is playing. I love doing it, so that's why I do it. Same with doing this vlog. This is something I enjoy doing. Is it leisure time? No. Is it scheduled? Not really. I just do it when I feel like I have got something to say. And I'm trying to be very intentional about having something to say at least once a week. And I really do want to do shorts. So that's another thing. I'm still learning how to do the shorts. I'm not very good at it. But I took a day off. And then I took today off too, to do this vlog and to just kind of hang out. The physicist is out with our daughter and her man, and they're doing a watercolor painting class, which I think is so much fun for them, and I'm so glad I'm not there, because I would have paint all over myself and not on the paper. I am not gifted in that way. That was my father's talent, and it skipped a generation to my daughter because she's equally as artistic. I am not that girl. All my artistry goes into planning things, writing stories, making things happen with my friends. I'm an organizer of people, places, and things, which brings me to the next thing that I did to take my mind off of all the problems of the world. I scheduled a trip to Europe. I'm manifesting good energy for our world, and that's how I want to roll. So I spent some time figuring out when we were going to go, and we have a travel agent working with us whom we absolutely love. This is the first time we've ever done that. We've never used a travel agent, but I was like, I can come in here with my little folder and my ideas. And Area A is going to be Paris, France, and Area B is going to be the Netherlands, where we can see our friends and our family and enjoy our people. So I think the key to fitness, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual for me, and this is I'm only talking about me, maybe it'll work for you, is A, take a break. B, if you have an obstacle, look at it, see if there's some creative ways to fix it. If there isn't, then fine, just keep looking. I'm still looking for a walking person, somebody to go walking with, either at the gym or outside when it's nice and cool out, which is rare in this part of Texas, but we do have these nice days. And just be sure to take care of your spiritual and emotional and mental wellness and take some breaks and give yourself permission to relax. And that's easier for some people to do than others. It's definitely not my I'm not number one at relaxing. I once went outside on Mother's Day to go relax, and I started doing all these things, and my daughter came out and she goes, "Mom, you don't know how to relax." And I'm like, "No, I really don't know how to relax, but I'm trying." I mean, never too old to learn new things, right? So I did that, but yeah, I've got my Rick Steves France book. He is the best. I love using him. I got all my little Post-it notes. I have a pretty top-notch itinerary. I've got my life makeover going on. I've got a good book to read. Cheers. And I am working out at least 5 days a week. And I think 5 days is enough. Everything else is bonus, and it's got to be a fun bonus, I've decided. So that's my take on spring into fitness. It is March. Spring has officially sprung. We're doing well in our life makeover book. If you have any ideas of how to combat obstacles to fitness, whether it's spiritual, mental, or emotional, physical, please drop something in the comments. I will look for you and I will reply. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, that would be great. Not trying to take over the world, just trying to have a little fun here. And I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day, everyone. Cheers.